Afro77 here, and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. This is but her. I was playing tennis with games. This is the owner, Daniel.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Frank Talk. I'm Jeremy Orr, and today we will be talking about the debates. Of course, yesterday I put out a video that had come out. By the time it had come out, the debates were already over with. One thing I would like to address before we get started is, you notice I'm wearing a Donald Trump hat. That is because in the last video I noticed, without fail, of course, that I had a cowlick coming down the front of my head. Now usually my hair is long enough that I can kind of comb over that. But the person who cut my hair last time, she apparently didn't know what she was doing. Speaking of not knowing what they were doing, David Muir, or whatever that guy's name is, from World News. I really don't pay attention to World News or ABC or NBC or any of the major news networks. I do from time to time when storms are coming. Watch my local news. But other than that, I really tend to only focus on some of the news networks that are on YouTube, like Newsmax and stuff like that. Last night's debate, to say that it was biased is way under exaggerating. Like, this, had this been any more biased, Kamala would have been sitting right next to the news anchors. Speaking of news anchors, there was a point that came up in the debate where they were asking Donald Trump about the border crisis. Now, he had mentioned the Haitians, but I don't think he had mentioned the Haitians in particularly. He had mentioned the illegal immigrants. And he had mentioned the fact that they were eating animals off the street. He said dogs. I kind of disagree with that statement. I think from what I heard it was ducks. Either way, they are eating animals off the streets. This is something that people on Facebook snickered at. This is something that David Muir snickered at and said, oh, I forget whoever it is he said he talked to, but the person he said he talked to, some high-ranking official for that city, he said, oh, I talked to the city management and they said this isn't true and blah blah blah. But yet, why do we hear reports from several social media outlets and even Fox News reported on this? Now I understand David Muir, is that how you pronounce his name? I understand that he's probably not watching YouTubers like Mark Dice or JP or who's the other guy? I can't think. Matt Walsh. But you mean to tell me that they didn't see this on Fox News? After I heard Donald Trump say they were eating dogs off the streets, and then David Muir started his reply, I half expected him to actually come out and say, well, we did hear those reports, but as it turns out, they weren't really eating dogs, but they were eating other animals. I halfway expect, but no, instead of that, he lied. He either lied or he was misinformed. Either one. Now the question now remains, should Donald Trump have brought up the fact that they were eating dogs off the street? I don't know. Not if it couldn't have been confirmed. Now, had he have had the option to show a video or something where Fox News or other news outlets were saying this, then that would have been fine. But now it's being mocked, it's being laughed at, it's being scoffed at. People are making fun of him on Facebook, they're making fun of him on Instagram. It's making this rounds on all social media. X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, I say that it was mentioned on Fox News, but I'm not sure. Let's see. My tablet's not really working right now. Of course, I'll edit this part out anyways. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Fox News. I mean, seriously, I'm going to edit this part. Okay, so I'm looking up here on this on my tablet, and it doesn't really say anything from Fox News, but I've got this video from the Daily Caller, and it's not just about the Haitians eating animals off the streets. This lady talks about how impossible it is to live in her neighborhood that she's been living in for the past 40 years. And she has a disabled elderly husband, apparently, who has... Well, here, we'll share the clip. Can we show that clip? Run that video clip.
Done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard.
Terrible, terrible stuff. And yet, no news outlets cover this. I'm scrolling on my phone. This thing's down. I can't do anything. I don't see it on Fox News. I don't see it on... Of course, CNN's not reporting it. Now, there is a report, it looks like on CNN, oh my God, mothers shield children's eyes from horrific scenes in Haiti. That's got nothing to do with the border crisis. But more to the point, they deny that there's even a problem with the border crisis. They deny that there's even a border crisis. Kamala constantly flip-flops on this issue. At first, and then there was something in the debate where Kamala actually talks, Trump talks about Biden and what Biden has done. And then stupid Kamala says something to the fact, you're not debating Biden, which is true. However, what he was talking about is the fact that you, Kamala, are have been under the Biden administration for 3.5 years. You should have been able to do all of those things that you're talking about doing. And I do believe it was you who said this about the border. Let's roll that clip, just for old time's sake.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point.
Oh boy.
And then the question came up about what they would say about the youth of America. And I said, oh, this is going to be good. And they were talking about the future, the youth of America. They were talking about climate change. And I'm thinking, he has got to bring up the fact that Kamala said that young people are stupid. That people between the ages of 18 and 24, I think it was between the ages of 18 and 24, are stupid. Do we have that clip? Let's roll that clip too. Here we go.
18 through 24. They are stupid. Logical fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid.
Unbelievable. That's what she thinks about the youth of America. She could give a damn about their future. She could give a damn about the future of this country, because if she did, she would already be doing the stuff that she's talked about doing for the past 3 months, or the past 2 months, excuse me, since they gave Biden the boot and strategically placed her in the thrust of things. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. This is their whole plan. It's their plan to take over, to wipe out everything that America stands for. She talked about him destroying the Constitution. Was it not under the Biden administration that they denied people access to going to church, denied them access to going to their local grocery store, denied them access to going to their local restaurants, while at the same time they went to their local restaurants? Was it not them that lied about the jab and saying how, oh, if you don't get it, you can't get this. If you don't get it, you're not going to be able to do that? Was it not them who denied us to go out after a certain time? Was it not them who denied general, just basic, denied us going out without the face diaper? If anybody is trying to destroy the U.S. Constitution, it's them. I'll take a sip of my coffee here. And then at some point, gun control was mentioned, he told her specifically that she was against gun control. And then she threw back at him, and God help us, that she owns guns and Tim Waltz owns guns. But was it not her just a few months ago when there was a school shooting? Was it not them? Every time a school shooting has taken place that said we need to ban assault rifles and automatic weapons? Was that not them that said that? I mean, those are some of the points that Trump should have made during the debate. He went off track a few times, and that was kind of like, no, dude, hold on, dude. You've got to talk about how they were trying to ban guns. Be a little bit more specific. But every time he tried to explain himself or defend himself, they cut him off at some point. Comes down to it. It really wasn't Trump versus Kamala. It was more or less Trump versus Kamala and David Muir and that other lady. I can't think of what her name is at this current time. And like I said, my laptop is currently not working. But you got to think of this. If the news media is this biased towards the left, and if they're doing this, telling just straight out lie after lie after lie, then is this really going to be a fair election? Or are we going to get a repeat of 2020? And then Kamala talks about the automotive industry and how lucrative it has become since the Biden and Harris administration, which was another lie. Because if you look at the numbers, which I don't really have them with me right now, but they talk of a different story. And if records serve me correctly, didn't Biden, before he became president, get into an argument with a guy it was either the automotive industry or the oil industry? I think it was the automotive industry. He basically told the guy to F off. The guy questioned him about something, and then Biden replied by saying, "I don't work for you." You know what? Just for old time's sake, let's take a look at that clip too.
That's not free speech. Repaired again. Shotgun, I have 20 games, 12 games. My son's hunt. Guess what? You're not allowed to own anyway. I'm not taking anything away at all. You need 100 rounds? You were in veto when you said you're going to take your gun. I did not say that. That's not true. I did not say that.
It's a sad time we're living in, folks. It really is. The left uses it's weaponized. And Trump mentions this in the debate, that it's weaponizing the legal system to go against Donald Trump. Kamala, at some point during the debate, mentions that he is a convicted felon, that he has a trial coming up. And of course, Trump responds accordingly with this.
Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department. Every
So to sum things up, the debate, total clown show. Kamala getting fed answers into an earpiece, obviously. Trump may or may not have been going off script for the most part, telling it like it is. And then you have the biased media leaning towards Kamala. And not only that, but every answer that Trump tried to give, every time he tried to give a rebuttal, he got cut off. And then they would swing it over to Kamala. So it's obvious. They made it really obvious who they were favoring. Now, had this have occurred on CNN, maybe it would have gone a little differently. But of course, you've got, it could have ended up pretty much the same way. I don't know. When they had to debate him against Biden, I will say that CNN was fair. They let him rebuttal, they let him get his answers in, and they didn't side with Biden. But now it's as though, oh, we want a woman in the White House, a person of color. We don't care what their the issues are or what their what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a brain cloud moment. I'm having a Biden moment, if you will. Policy. They don't care what the policies are. As a matter of fact, she has no policy. She ripped off Donald Trump's policy. In fact, he very comically mentioned, hey, you know, she's ripping off so many of my policies, I'm about to send her a mega hat. And he comically asked her, would you like a mega hat? But in all seriousness, though, the people who buy into these lies are the ones who are going to be voting for Kamala in the first place anyway. The ones who honestly believe that Trump's a villain and that the left believes in protecting our gun rights and they believe in protecting our First Amendment rights and Second Amendment rights and all of that. The ones who believe all of that believed it from the very beginning, before the debates even took place. They are the ones who are going to be voting for Kamala. And so I don't think it changes things. I really don't. With all that being said, we have to expose these people for who they are. And I think there's definitely going to be at least one more debate, if not a couple more debates. And hopefully Trump can get a good venue. He can get a venue where he's not attacked by the media that's doing the debate, that is in charge of the debate. Hopefully we get an unbiased media in the next debate. But sooner or later, you will see Kamala will unfold. And she will eventually expose herself. But until then, we must stay vigilant. And I will be reporting these things as they occur, as I'm sure with the rest of the people on social media and whatnot. But I bring it to you as I see it. And until next time, remember, before I go, one more thing. And again, I hate doing this. It feels like begging, but please subscribe. And if you are subscribed to me, make sure you hit the notification bell, because a lot of my videos are getting shadow banned by YouTube, the live streams as well. So please do that. And thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And remember, knowing isn't just half the battle. It's the whole damn war. We'll see you next time on the Jeremy Orr Show. This has been Frank Talk with Jeremy Orr. Good night, everybody.
Hebrew 77 here, and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. This is The Herd.